back with you about the new album. I gave it a listen, and I gotta tell you, it seems like you're going against the grain. And just remember that
original never wins out.
And then we'll go into
My thing is, I don't look at music when people ask me, like, so, like, for my last record, the last solo record I did, well, how did you do, well, how did it do, how did it do, what did it sell? I don't even look at music in terms of how it sells. I look at music in terms of what did it allow me to do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you tonight? My name is Garth Brown, and I'm fortunate to host this evening's 2022 Egg Farmers of Canada Virtual Culinary Challenge. I wanted to thank you all for joining us tonight, joining me from sunny Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. As you can tell, it's a balmy day here in Dartmouth, and we're ready to roll. Prior to starting tonight's festivities, though, I would like to do a couple of housekeeping notes. The first this evening will be to do our land acknowledgement. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are coming today in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. This territory is covered by the treaties of peace and friendship first signed with the British Crown in 1725. We are all treaty people. Thank you all very much. As I said, my name is Garth Brown. I'm one of the faculty members here at NSCC Akerley campus, and I have the privilege and honor of being the host this evening for the 2022 Culinary Challenge. I'd like to introduce our guests, our judges, actually this evening. Our first judge tonight is going to be Chef Craig Flynn, royalty really here in the Halifax and East Coast restaurant world. Chef Craig Flynn is one of the Egg Farmers of Canada ambassadors, and this evening he's going to be one of our culinary judges. He's also, a little bit later on in part two, he's actually going to be doing a secondary culinary demonstration that the students are going to have to replicate as part of tonight's competition. Second, we've got Chef Dale McKay. Dale McKay, someone that you've definitely probably seen out there, definitely someone that has spent a lot of time in kitchens from the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver at Danielle Boulud's restaurant to now owning 5 restaurants in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Dale has been on Wall of Chefs and he is Top Chef Canada winner season 1. Dale, thank you very much for joining us. We're happy to have you. And last but certainly not least, one of Halifax's and Dartmouth's powerhouses, Renee Lavallee. Nice to see you, Renee. How are you? Tonight, she's going to be one of our judges as well. And then the last person, but definitely not least, is Chef Claude Aucoin, certified sommelier, chef de cuisine. He is also from NSCC Akerley, and he's going to be one of our guest speakers this evening. And definitely last but not least, we've got Jill Thomas, our egg farmer from Egg Farmers, representing the Egg Farmers of Canada. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome you all, introduce our judges, and we're going to get started now with our evening. Just so we all know, just to give us a little bit of a kind of a recap, this has been going on for quite some time, the preparations to get to where we are today. And what of it is that we've had 4 rounds. This is the 4th round. Round 1 was students. They submitted. We had 25 students, first years and second years, from the culinary program here at NSCC Akerley, Dartmouth, King's Tech, and Lunenburg, all converging together. They submitted a bunch of recipes, and then we had chef faculty mentorship. The chef faculty mentors went through the dishes with the students, guided them a little bit, supported them a touch, and then round 3, which happened earlier this week, was the competition themselves. The chefs, the young chefs, the students here have created their own inspired dish surrounding the main ingredient. Tonight's show, and this actually star, is the eggs, and they are from our egg farmers of Canada. My apologies. I'm just going to bring out Chef Claude Aucoin. Chef Aucoin is going to have a conversation. He's going to introduce all of our student chefs tonight. Chef Aucoin, would you like to give everyone a wave and start and introduce our students?
Yeah, certainly, Garrett. Thank you. So our first student is Ligna Wang, who's a second-year culinary student. So I teach first year, so I had the privilege of teaching her last year. So it's always an honor and pleasure teaching students. I mean, I've spent a lot of years in the industry, and basically teaching students is just, I find a privilege. So welcome, Ligna, and good luck. So can we see Ligna?
Hi. So my dish is almost done. I still have 2 minutes left. For now, I working on my sauce, and this is bok choy white part because I just use the bok choy center. So This part I use it with the sauce, get it with flavor. And the green part I will make it the sauce.
Lingna, it's okay. We'll come back and talk to you later. You focus on cooking, okay?
All right. See
You go back to cooking. We'll talk to you in a minute. Oh my gosh, she's so excited, everyone. Okay, Claude, let's just do an
Okay, so
introduction.
next up,
Have them
next
wave,
up-
and then we'll
yeah.
get them back, okay?
yeah, okay. Next up is Olivia Sewell. So Olivia was actually in my class this morning, so I kept her nice and busy. So Olivia, do you want to give us a little wave?
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah,
Olivia.
now go back to work.
Okay, that's it. Next up is Subaki Onishi, second year student. Can you give us a wave, Subaki? Subaki with us.
You're good.
She's good? Okay, I didn't see her, but yeah. Next up is Sarah Allen, also a second year student. Sarah, can you
Hey
give
Chef,
us a
how's it
wave?
going?
Okay, there we go. Nice wave. All right. And next up after that is Yuen Lee, also a first year student. Can you give us a wave? Yeah, there's the wave. So we're good. And last but not least, Robin Singh, who's also a second year student.
Hi everyone.
And that's it for our six candidates this evening. Good luck,
That's great.
everyone.
Thanks, Claude. Really appreciate that. We're going to go back and obviously have some conversations with the students a little bit later on. Obviously, they're right now, they're head down. They just started up a little bit earlier on. So they're right in the middle of getting those dishes done. What I really want to do next is actually, we need to thank our hosts. And I might be the physical host, but our hosts of this entire challenge are the Egg Farmers of Canada. And for that, with the competition, I'd like to actually introduce our farmer tonight. We're just going to get a bit of a wave because Jill Thomas, myself, and Claude a little bit later on in the program, we're going to have a conversation. But Jill representing the Egg Farmers of Canada tonight, she's really the resident expert, and she's going to give us a bit of a wave there. Hey, Jill, how are you? And we're going to get a chance a little bit later on to have a chat. But now let's really talk about why we're here. Of course, we're here to support and spotlight the Egg Farmers of Canada. But what we really want to do is that, tonight's challenge is why we're here. Like I said, we have 25 students. They whittled all the way down, went through their 3 rounds, and we are down to the final 6. And the final 6 students have created their own inspired dish. And that dish is going to be then judged by all of our judges. And then we have one final challenge that they're going to have to do and replicate their, I guess would be the demonstration that Chef Flynn is going to do. So we have some prizes. Part of this is we've got our challenge tonight. Like I said, goes in 2 parts. Part 1 is the signature dish. Part 2 is going to be the egg cooking technique. First prize is a prize of $5,000. Prize number 2 for second place is $3,000. Third prize is $1,500. And one other one that's out there, there's a viewer's choice, $500 plus a gift letter for dinner here. You can't really see it, but I'm actually sitting and standing in the restaurant that we have that is an applied classroom at the campus called Fresh 21. You'll then have a dinner for 4 letter that's going to be able to have you come and dine. And we hope that the student, that wins is one of those students that cooks you that dinner. So I just want to let you know kind of what everything is, what we're all sort of fighting for. Next up, I'd like to have our attention to talk to Jonathan Canning and Sean Ketley. How are we looking for time there, gentlemen?
We're just coming in, Garth, and we're 5 minutes and 18 seconds away from the plates being due for judging.
That's fantastic. How, Sean, if I may, how do they seem in the kitchens tonight? How do they seem? They seem okay?
Excellent.
Yeah?
Excellent in the
Great.
kitchen.
Perfect. And let's talk to Claude.
Yes, Gary.
We talked a little bit earlier on as we're waiting to finish up the cooking. I thought we'd maybe have a little bit of a conversation. What's the state of the students? How were they today? How have they been the past couple of weeks? How's that been for you?
I think the first competition was, we started off with, I think, 24, 25 students. So a lot of them was their first competition ever. So I think, it's a great learning experience because sometimes things don't go as planned, or there's always a little curveball right or left or center that comes your way. So I think it's a great learning experience. And then they had that under the belt. Some of them were given a little bit of, some of the dishes that they created last week, they're probably tweaked a little bit, but overall, I don't think there was going to be significant changes to the dishes, just a little readjusting, a little tweaking. So, part of it is not overthinking it and just kind of doing it, but definitely there was some butterflies there. I saw most of the students today and there was some butterflies happening, but that's just normal.
Listen, it's funny you mentioned that, Claude, sorry to interrupt there, but we talk about overthinking things a lot. And, we have, in my opinion, one of the most versatile ingredients to cook with ever, right? The egg. I think that the egg, I'm not in kitchens. I've spent a lot of time in kitchens, but I'm not in them all the time. I'm not a chef. But what I do know is that a lot of my colleagues that are chefs and in kitchens, the egg is almost like the penultimate ingredient for us to master. And I don't think it's something that is easily mastered. For years and years and years, we've found chefs trying to find different ways it's an incredible ingredient because you have something like a yolk and then the white. They cook at very different temperatures. Yeah. So even those things to kind of master, that takes an entire career to be able to do that. And maybe you never even achieve those. And here we are, right? With 6, we started off with 25, but we've got 6 students now trying to perfect an egg dish, a dish that represents not only the product and honors the ingredient, but also where they're from. And you want to talk about getting in your head and overthinking, that's got to be pretty crazy to deal with, hey?
And we also, when we had the 25 competitors, there was lots of different recipes with eggs. And so you will see lots of different recipes with eggs for tonight as well, which is quite, interesting, challenging. But you're right, eggs are very simple, but they can be very complicated and they're very, very versatile. I mean, I enjoyed eggs in many different ways, and they're delicious in almost every preparation, essentially.
Yeah. Chefs, I need to interrupt for a second there, competitors. We are exactly 2 minutes remaining before your plates are due.
Amazing. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that. We don't seem to see them, the students aren't really stressing out. Like usually, and we'll talk this a little bit later on tonight, and I don't mind dropping it in here and there, competitions period, cooking for an audience, whether it's in your restaurant for your paying guests, but then there's also, or cooking for friends and family. But when you're cooking at this point in time, when you're under a timeline, 2 minutes, and they've been going so hard for 45 minutes, this is their dish, this is their heart and soul has been put into this dish. Like, we want to talk about shaking hands. And, we have a couple of chefs here that are on our judge panel, Dale and Renee, that they know about competition cooking. And I know for a fact that it's got to be something that's got to be always freaking them out a little bit. Like, it's hard, right? Like, to imagine this happening with second year and first year students. Like, they've been here for 2 years. The second years, part of their year last year was online, or at least 50% of the time in the kitchen. So imagine that. Yeah. So I have to tell you, this dish is absolutely, Jacques Pepin, one of my favorite chefs ever. And he would actually, when he would interview and have people come and do cooking demonstrations in his kitchens, it would be like, cook me an omelet. Marco Pierre White, another famous chef, same thing, cook me an omelet. A couple of chefs that I worked with back in Vancouver, when they would hire a new young chef, cook me an omelet, right? So we look at how basic but delicious, nutritious, and fantastic and versatile that dish can be, the egg can be. I believe that our time might be up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Sean Ketley, are we done?
We are done, sir.
A round of applause to those chefs in there. We know that could not have been easy for them. Not only are they doing it in some of their homes, we've got maybe some that are here on campus, some are in other people's homes. Let's talk about the amount of time that our students have had to adjust and to actually take their inspired dish that, when they're practicing it, they've maybe been practicing it here on campus, where we have all the amenities, we have all the equipment, and now they got to take that and do it in someone's home, right? So pretty fantastic, pretty inspiring, that's for sure, to have our students doing what they're doing today. I'm going to we're going to move on right now in just a few minutes while they're kind of tidying up a little bit. We're going to call upon our students and our first chef student this evening that is going to present their dish. And part of this is we want them to present the inspiration behind their dish. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dish that they have created. Okay. It is their egg inspired dish that they had some mentorship with the chef team, the faculty team. And now we're actually going to talk with Lingna. So Lingna Huang, if you'd like to come on up, and let's talk now, Lingna, that you have some time. Okay, you have time now. You've got 3 minutes to talk about your beautiful dish. Take your time, talk slowly. Don't talk like me, which is really fast.
Okay. Thank you.
Talk
Yeah.
slowly and tell us about this amazing dish that you created, Lingna.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Today is my first day to cook. So this is my egg custard. Why I cook egg custard? Because in my memory, my first dish I eat is egg custard. And when I was very young, my mom told me, you need to eat egg every day because egg make you smart. Egg can let you grow up quick. So in my family, we have a rule. Every breakfast, I need to eat egg. And my mom will cook egg custard when she was happy. Otherwise, I will get overcooked boiled egg. Sometimes egg is cold. Sometimes my mom will open the egg, use my hand. So for me, egg custard means two things. First is delicious dish. The second is means my mom happy. In my family, my mom happy, everyone happy. So I want to cook this egg custard.
That's great, Lingna. Tell us a little bit about your dish, Lingna. Tell us about your dish. You created a custard, but what's on the dish? Tell us.
Yeah, I want to show the purpose of the egg in my dish. I have three kind of way to cook egg. First is egg is the main ingredient in this dish. It's custard. It get a very good texture. You can see it's a very good texture.
Yeah, and it's jiggling. It looks lovely.
Yeah, and the second is this egg yolk. I let it poach the egg yolk in soy sauce, vinegar, and seasoning to help season. And the third is this one. I don't know you can see it or no. This is I use the egg white from this egg yolk to make it crispy too for crispy temperature. And in China, this is 5-star. It means lucky star. And for this bok choy, can you see it? In China, we think it is a lucky vegetable. For now, it's still Chinese New Year, so this is the lucky sign in our culture. I hope everyone be fruitful and joyful in the year of the tiger.
Oh, Lingna, thank you. That is lovely. Great job. Listen, we're not done yet though, okay? The chefs now, the judges would like to talk to you. Let's talk to our chef judges right now. Any questions, judges?
Well, I'll start off by asking if you could, I saw the beautiful jiggle of the custard, Lingna. Would you mind showing, just dipping into the custard as well as the yolk? I think that we'd all like to see the consistency a little closer, and perhaps show it close to the camera if you can.
So you see, I take the egg yolk, and here how you can see something because the custard is really smooth, and even you touch it, it will I don't know how to explain it, but it's like soft dough. And this, I don't know you can see or not. This egg yolk is half running egg yolk. You can, I don't know you can see or
Okay,
not.
Lingna, bring it up to the camera and put your spoon through it to show us how creamy that custard is. Bring it up to the camera,
Okay.
Lingna.
Okay,
Put
sorry.
put your utensils down. Keep your spoon in your hand. There you go. Bring it up. There we go. Up a bit more. Keep going. There. Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You can see the egg yolk and
Yep.
you can see.
Yeah.
And
Good job.
we eat it with the lettuce soy vinegar sauce. Can see?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really.
Chef Dale, Renee, anything that you'd like to maybe ask?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could kind of explain the process of the custard and then also just let us know what's inside the sauce that you just added.
First, I will talk about my sauce. Because my English is really bad, so I want to show you the seasoning in my sauce. Actually, the sauce is I poached the egg yolk, liquid. It's the soy sauce, vinegar, and this kind of seasoning. After I poached the egg yolk, I add 2 times water in because I want the sauce a little bit light. And I put because I use mushroom, so I put extra mushroom and that way in my sauce give the sauce a little bit more flavor. This is my sauce.
And then one more quick question, sorry. And so would you, if we were in a restaurant setting, would that dish be served room temperature, chilled, or is it a hot dish?
It is a hot dish. I take it from the steamer, I think 2 or 3 minutes, and the server can touch the pan, so it should be good. But when we put on the customer table, I think around 5 minutes, it can get the temperature is more than body temperature, but you can eat it without hurt. And in the winter, it's a totally very good dish because it's warm meal and you can feel this. Sorry, you understand me? No. Yeah.
Good. Thank you very much. Looks great.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know what how the shrimp component was. Like, I know Dale asked if the dish was more of a warmer room temperature dish. Is the shrimp, or I know in the notes before, it was like the mushrooms, like how is that incorporated, or how would that play with the rest of the dish?
It's I got my oven in here. It's a warm place, like in restaurant, get a warm heat. So before I plant it, I put my not veg, but my shrimp and mushroom kind of like here. But you can see I can touch here, but
Okay.
here it's still warm. So I want mushroom and shrimp. It's a little bit hot. I didn't put egg yolk in because I don't want egg yolk continue cook because I want running egg yolk. This is kind of like the way I serve.
Would you traditionally eat this dish like that? What you created, was this like something that you'd have for like lunch or for dinner? Would you have it for breakfast? Or is this for you? Did you come up with this because, like you said, eggs equal happiness, the custard equals happiness for your family? Yeah. So for you, I mean, if you could say that, is this like a real sort of, would this be you on a plate? Would this be a very really sort of good interpretation of the way that you cook on a plate today?
This is kind of like traditional Chinese dish, but the egg yolk is totally the Canadian style because in China we don't eat any running egg yolk. So okay. I think, but I think it's very good. It's very good flavor and give us more texture. So I add it in. Perfect. And we eat it breakfast. Or I don't know if you are old people, maybe they eat it 1 day, 2 times because it's very good for healthy.
Well, thank you very much.
That's great, okay. Lingna. Listen.
Yes.
Great job. Good job. Okay.
Thank you.
Really great. Good work. I'm going to move on to the next student. Okay. So thank you, Lingna. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what a dish. That was a gorgeous dish. Looked really fantastic. We're going to go to contestant number 2. Who's this? That's right. It's Olivia Sewell. How are you, Olivia?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Listen, now we're gonna why don't you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of the dish, and then go into kind of a breakdown of it. When you're talking about the dish, I want you to bring it up to the camera so that everybody can take a look at it, and then the judges are going to come and ask you a couple of questions. All right. So let's start first of all with the easy thing. Tell us about the inspiration and what made you do this crazy dish.
So the reason I chose this dish is because I wanted to do something that was more of a challenge for me, something that I wasn't new to, which was pasta. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to make a dish that really showcased hen eggs inside and out, which I did my best to do. Yeah, I would say that's the reason for my dish.
Okay, great. And now let's talk about the dish. Tell us about it.
For sure. Yeah, I'll bring it up. See if you guys can see it.
There you go. Bring it a little closer. There you go. Chefs, judges, you can see that. Bring it up a touch there, Olivia. There you go. Now we can see that wonderful sauce. You got that wonderful ravioli. Okay, tell us about the dish.
All right, so it is an egg yolk ravioli. Inside, we have a lemon ricotta mix, just to brighten up the dish, spinach and Parmesan, and a beautiful runny egg yolk. To cut through the richness of the egg yolk, we have a bacon vinaigrette alongside egg whites and chives. So in the bacon vinaigrette, we have bacon, anchovies, shallots, cherry vinegar, and olive oil. For the sauce, I tweaked a little bit compared to last round. So instead of a caramelized onion sauce, I have a buttermilk sous vide with scallion and parsley oil.
Yeah, it looks stunning. Now, tell us about the egg yolk.
It should be runny, very runny in the center.
Listen, here's what I think we're going to do. Let's just cut into it and see what you've done.
Can I jump in? Sorry, has all the competitors taken a good picture of their dish before we ask them to cut in? I don't know if we've asked them to do that or not, but I know we generally want them to.
Yeah, great call, Chef. Actually, have you taken a picture of your dish, Olivia?
No, not yet.
No. Do you want to take a picture of it, or do you want to cut through that and move on? It's up to you.
I have a picture from the last round, but I'll take one more if I can.
Sure, absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to stall everything. I just know if we want pictures later on for just to have pictures for these last round.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Listen, I get it, Dale. I know that in this day and age, we like to take all of our pictures and stuff like that from our dishes, and especially with a momentous occasion like tonight, right? Like, I know that Olivia hasn't had the opportunity as a first-year culinary student, hasn't had the opportunity to do any competition stuff. So why wouldn't we take these snapshots to see the evolution, especially being a teacher and all, the evolution of how she's growing as a young chef. Okay, let's cut that egg yolk. Let's go.
Just gonna get a good view here. Alrighty.
Here we go. Bring it up to the camera, girl. Yeah, lovely. Great job.
That's great.
Chefs, I'll start with Chef Flynn. Any questions that you'd like to ask Olivia on her dish at all?
Well, I'm the fortunate one that got to see the dishes in round 3, and I really love the improvements to the sauce that you made. I think one of the things that we all sort of felt in our perceived flavor and textured sort of balance of the first dish, as beautiful as it was, there's something much brighter about what you've done here today. And now that you've cut into that yolk, I mean, it's like a neon pasta dish. And in my mind, it's very much like almost like a take on a Roman carbonara with that bacon element in there as well. So very sophisticated. How did your pasta, was that a all egg yolk, or was it whole eggs, or a combination of both in the pasta?
So the pasta was just egg yolks.
So it is just egg yolk. So you incorporated the whites from those eggs as the garnish, which is very clever. So that's great.
Yes, a way of using the whole egg since the yolk is in the center and just the yolks were made for the pasta.
And could you just run through the sauce again quickly? The new sauce?
Yeah, it's
The
a
elements
buttermilk.
of the new sauce?
Yeah, it's a buttermilk sous vide with scallion and parsley oil. So scallion, parsley, and oil, and then blitzed and strained, and then the buttermilk warmed, and onions.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So you made a sous vide. Got it. Chef Dale McKay, any questions, comments you'd like for Olivia?
It's a beautiful dish. I love a yolk stuffed pasta. What all is inside of the actual pasta? Is it just straight yolk, or do you have ricotta, or do you have anything else in there?
Yeah, so we have a lemon and ricotta mixture, which is just lemon zest, ricotta, some more chives, and some Parmesan and spinach.
Okay, and how long did you cook it for?
The pasta?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Sounds good. Thank you very much. I wish I could taste it. Looks lovely.
Chef Renee, any questions that you have for Olivia?
Yeah, Olivia, what thickness did you go when you rolled out your pasta? I'm just curious to know how thin you went.
So right now it is on number 3.
On number 3, okay. And like Dale already took my question, was how long did you cook it for? It looks beautiful. Okay,
you can see that. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you make your own ricotta? Yes, Garth.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Olivia. I've got a comment afterwards. Go ahead, Olivia.
No, the ricotta is store-bought.
Okay. Sorry, Garth.
Interesting question. You asked about what number she was on for the pasta, potentially for our viewers. What do you mean by that? Is there a certain number? Like, is it a machine that she's rolling out? Like, what does that mean by the number?
She's rolling out on a pasta machine. So the sort of like, I always forget, it's like you usually start at 0 and then you work your way up, or vice versa.
So
anyways,
mine is works down.
Yeah. So it's like, so like as it gets to a certain number, you'll know if it's like super thick. So like when you start a pasta in the pasta machine, obviously it's not going to be thin. So you have to keep like rolling and thinner and thinner. And, I remember when I like before Olivia was even born, when I lived in Italy, you'd have to literally look if you're making pasta for certain things, like especially like a stuffed pasta, some of them you'd have to sort of like see through so that it was a beautiful sort of, so that it wasn't necessarily cutting through like a thick sort of like pasty pasta.
Got it.
But I love the fact that, you've incorporated the egg in like 2 different places, or actually 3 different places. So, I really should have just gone to my son's practice and just walked. I mean, I know you're not at NSCC today, but I can always make my way over, but it looks amazing, Olivia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Great showcase of a hen egg for sure. Olivia, thank you very much. Great job. Well done. We're going to move on to our third contestant or competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, Tsubaki Onishi. Where are you, Tsubaki?
Hi here, Chef.
What's up, girl?
Good. Doing good. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so we're going to start with the inspiration of your dish, okay? Take your time, talk about your dish a little bit, kind of the inspiration behind it, and then you're going to talk about exactly how you did it and how you made it, okay?
For sure. Thank you, sir. So here I have you this dish called tamago dofu. So this called tamago, meaning egg in Japanese. It's made like a silken tofu. So it has a texture of a really creamy and smooth like texture. So we call it tofu because of the texture and the shape, but actual flavor is creamy egg with the burst dashi. I use the 1:2 ratio, 1 to 1.5 ratio for dashi and the egg custard. So the reason behind I made this dish is because this was one of my favorite dish when I was growing up. And I have always been foodie and I never wanted to share food with anybody. So one day I decided to make a whole bunch myself and eat it all myself. But when I actually made it, it turned out so great that I ended up sharing with my family. And seeing my family's happy face made me realize that, actually that makes me happy. It's better than eating them all by myself. So that's kind of like where my journey started. So when I heard about egg, this was the first dish I came up with. So this egg custard, tamago tofu is just the custard part. So I wanted to elevate this dish to something I can put for competition. So first thing I put was mushroom broth. I made it with the kombu. So it has another layer of umami flavor. And here I have this tuile. I use egg whites. So I have a nice thin layer to bake it in the oven. So it adds nice texture to the dish. And speaking of the texture, I also had the sauteed mushroom and pickled shallots with beets. So right now, around here, you see is the that with the scallion and oranges. And here you see a nice shiny glaze. This is miso glazed sauce I made. This adds this dish a sweetness and also spiciness to go make you go hoo-hoo. And I use the yolk that I have left over from the tuile. So it has extra shininess and thickness to the whole dish. So this makes me realize that, food is all about sharing and keeping the memory, because when I'm practicing this dish, I think about my family, I think about my home country. I want to be back there. I want to be my family again. But in Canada, when I'm eating this dish, I feel like as if I'm in Japan, sitting with my family, eating, the dish like I was doing when I was a child. So I hope this dish makes us connect together, because I'm introducing the dish to my new friends, family in Canada. And I hope you guys can find this kind of exciting and make it with your family or friends, and then hopefully have that shared memory for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's amazing. Great job. You know what? That's what food is all about, at least at least where I come from. And we appreciate you telling your story. And now I think you're going to want to bring that up to the camera, or the camera towards it, so we can let our chef judges ask you some questions so that we can actually start cutting into it. I'm sure the chefs are going to want to see everything that you've put into this dish. Chef Flynn.
Well, certainly I'm looking forward to seeing the texture of the custard. So you can start with that. How long did you have that in the steamer?
I had this in low for 15 minutes, and I used this method of lower heat, longer cooking method, so it doesn't overcook. And I had trouble with the controlling temperature, but I got it bang on at the end of the day.
It looks excellent. Now your plate presentation is different than in round 3, which it was there was more garnish on there in round 3. I think you may have consciously cut back a little bit.
That's right.
Did you do that for a reason? Did you feel like what were your thoughts on that?
So after the first third round, we decided to go more simple and clean, to showcase the egg itself rather than the garnish, because the garnish is not the main character. I wanted to show the smoothness, thickness of the custard. And also I want to go more minimalist, like if you think about the Japanese garden, how it's, balanced all together. That's what I was going for with this. And like nice, tuile, simple, clean, neat. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, it's a notable difference, and I think you did the right thing. Good job.
Thank you very much, Chef.
Great job. Let's move on to our next chef. We'll go with Chef McKay in this order, and then we'll change it up on the next couple of chefs.
Okay. Well, first of all, I love listening to you talk about food. It's very, very passionate. It makes me want to cook. Just a few questions. So I see. So you use the dashi for the actual egg custard, correct?
Yes.
And then you have, is that a mushroom broth that you said that's in the hole there?
Right. So for this custard, I've used the bonito dashi. And then for the broth, I use combination of kombu and mushroom together. So it's different kind of umami type of deal.
Okay, and so is the mushroom broth a jelly, or is it an actual liquid?
It's actual liquid. So I have a leftover right here. So I use broth actually like glaze this mushroom as well when I'm sauteing the mushroom. So it has like another layer of flavor.
So when you steamed the custard in the plate, did you have a ring in there, or did you cut it out after and then add the broth after?
I find that when I do that, then the cuts inside, I don't know if you can see, we're gonna lift this up. The cuts inside gets very unclean. So I put this one first and steam it. So when it come out, it's nice, clean cuts around the rim.
Okay. And then one last thing, do you mind, can we see if that tuile is crunchy or is it,
It's been sitting there, so it's not that crunchy, but I have this one that I made.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, and then, sorry, I'm not gonna, last question. So if you were to eat this,
Yes.
as you said, you could eat 5 portions of them, would you kind of mix in the broth? Is that the intention, or is it to just kind of let the broth kind of go around by itself, or would you actually break it and kind of mix it in? Is that a traditional what you would normally do at home?
So at home, I would have like a package of dashi on top, like Linda was doing, really, like very similar. But for this dish, I would probably break it down so I can eat it with the broth. I usually have the dashi right on top and eat it. That would be all.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's great. Chef Renee, any questions, obviously?
Well, Dale takes all my questions. Dale, I know you don't have a camera over here watching me. So I was just like, and I was like,
Sorry.
oh, let's so you use dashi with your eggs. Oh, tell me about the kombu broth. Like, I mean, can you read my notes? So I'm like, what's going on over here? Anyways, I'm just joking. It looks great. No, I'm always like fascinated, especially because we had Linga, who was the first competitor who, again, went with the egg custard, very different, obviously. Hers is more Chinese, yours is Japanese. I love the fact that, both of you are using like traditional things that you're used to. And both of you have come up with like that beautiful, comforting, to me, when people cook, especially students, I mean, I think the first thing that we always look for is like that thing that reminds us of home and that, we're just makes us smile and makes us happy inside. And I love hearing you like describe that. I wish I was there to eat this. Wish I was there to eat all of these. But I'm actually curious, what is the ratio? Just because, who knows, maybe I'll do this tomorrow at work. What would be the ratio of egg to dashi? Like, most of us, like when I make, I mean, it's not the same, but when I cook eggs for my kids in the morning, usually I use, heavy cream or milk or sometimes chicken stock, but you use like the dashi in the same sort of way?
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same principle. So in Japan, we have 2 different steamed eggs, and one's called chamush and one's called tamago. So usually chamush has like shrimp, mushroom, some kind of stuff in there, but it's usually served hot. And I usually have more dashi, usually 1 egg to 2 dashi ratio. But for this dish, it's trying towards more tofu thickness size. So it's 1 to 1.2 or 1 to 1.5. Maximum is 1.5. Sorry, 1.5 to 2. Sorry, it's making me confused.
Oh, no, that's okay. I mean, you can ask anyone. I don't measure anything. So I really love the fact that you actually know all the ratios. That's really great.
It's like 4 eggs with like 300 ml of dashi. And makes 500 ml. So, yeah, 1.5.
All right. Well, perhaps I'll be making this for breakfast tomorrow. That means I'll be late for work, but you never know.
God.
Anyway,
Okay, so
thank you.
Renee, you don't live very far from me, and I see you walking in the mornings. I might just have to walk up if you're going to be doing that for breakfast. I'm just saying.
Well, I think everyone knows where I live. So yeah, you can come over, Garth, anytime.
Oh my gosh, I feel honored.
You can sit with my kids and my dog, because everyone always says my dog eats best.
Right? Anyone that names their dog after a famous cheesemaker, I'm in.
Well, what can I say? You're always welcome at my house for breakfast, Garth.
Perfect.
Or you can always
we're going to move on. Sorry to cut everybody off. And listen, this is the price you pay when you have Garth Brown as your host. We sometimes might get a little loquacious and chatty, but we'll get there. Our next contestant, though, we're going to talk about our next chef, is Sarah Allen. Sarah, where are you?
Okay, good. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I am good. That 45 minutes disappeared.
Did it really? Or did it go by quick?
Yeah, I feel like I blinked. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna tell us a little bit about your dish, the inspiration behind it. Then you're gonna tell us about the actual dish and how you cooked it. And then we're gonna bring our chefs out to ask you some questions. So let her rip.
Sure. Okay. The dish that I made is a sort of East versus West, like inspired dish from Northern Africa. It's a shakshuka. I can give you a quick little flyover if you'd like.
Nice.
So it's supposed to be sort of a rustic breakfast dish. It's really spicy. It's really smoky. It's really sweet. I used a maple syrup hollandaise just to drizzle over top. It's pretty herbaceous as well from the cilantro, green onions. There's some ancho chilies in there. It's really good. And then on the side here, I have challah bread that I made myself last week in Gary Chin's class.
No way.
Yeah, I thought I might as well use it since it's an enriched egg dough. There's I think about 4 eggs in it, so a lot of eggs going on.
Listen, that's great that you mentioned that to us, right? Because this is an egg competition and you showcased it again, another ingredient for your dish. That's fantastic. So listen, what we're going to do is I'm going to have actually Chef Renee. I'm going to give you first crack. Are there no pun intended?
That's a great, Garth. That's a dad joke right there.
Right? Pun
I love
totally
it though. That's
intended.
actually, that's not even a dad joke. That's like a really bad, like Renee Lavallee joke, like in the morning.
Welcome to my world.
All right,
Yeah,
Sarah.
so Renee, why don't you start with let's have a chat with Sarah.
Sarah, okay, Sarah, sorry, like I just want to take a look at this magnificentness.
Of course. Here, let me turn you around.
Don't worry, it's okay.
Ooh,
I think we're all getting
there
used
we
to the
go.
world of Zooms. All right, so you were saying, so like, this would be a
breakfast dish. So
what exactly did you put in your shakshuka? So you said you've got like a maple syrup hollandaise, you've got
maple
chilies, you've got
maple syrup hollandaise. There's some ancho chilies. It's got a lot of spices, but it's also got obviously a base of onions, garlic, ginger, and then I included some asparagus as well and some bell pepper just for a little bit of sweetness in there too.
Okay, and then so did you sort of like make the base to start and then put your eggs in and put it in the oven, or did you do this?
So
on
a
top of the oven?
shakshuka is essentially you're poaching the eggs inside of the liquid. So it's a tomato-based sauce. And then I sort of just poured the eggs in individually, and then I put it in the oven. This is not an oven I'm super used to working with. So the cooking times were a little bit different than what I would have expected, but I think the carryover cooking kind of got me there. So.
Okay. I'm just curious to know, traditionally with a shakshuka, you wouldn't necessarily like put a hollandaise because a hollandaise, traditionally you think of that as like a Benedict. And plus I usually you'd sort of like nappe it over the egg so that it looks beautiful. I see you sort of put it around. I just want to know what the what the thought behind sort of adding a different element of like putting a hollandaise, which wouldn't traditionally be with a shakshuka, on a shakshuka.
Well, for me, I was sort of thinking about bringing it back to like what I identify with Canadian cooking. This is sort of like with my food ethos. Like I love that it's sort of an international dish. That this is something that I'm trying to make sort of my own by doing that. So it's just something that I would do to the dish. Awesome. If you're gonna have eggs here and have sort of some sort of holiday sauce on them, why not do that on eggs from somewhere else?
All right, perfect. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yep. Does anyone want me to crack the egg or?
Chef McKay, why don't you jump in there now for your next questions, and Sarah, maybe you should maybe give us a little bit of action shots there too for the chefs.
Yeah, here. Why don't I go right ahead?
Oh, and using the bread. Nice work.
Nice. Excuse me. Do you mind just going through the spices that you used?
Sure. I used cayenne, turmeric, chili, paprika, curry, and a little bit of cinnamon as well.
Okay, nice. And then the little white kind of chunks on the top, what are those?
Yes, those are cheese curds that I sliced up. Again, trying to bring it back like as a North African dish, bringing it back home. So it's almost like you're like making a breakfast poutine, but not at all.
Nice. Yeah, lovely. It's one of my favorite favorite dishes to have for brunch. So it looks lovely. The asparagus, how did you incorporate that? Did you do anything to it? Did you blanch it? Did you peel it? Did you throw it in right at the end at the time of the eggs, or did you throw it in with the onions? At what point did the asparagus go in?
So the asparagus went in with the bell pepper. So I wanted it to be sort of like a chunky base. Like I didn't want it just to be straight up tomato sauce that you're poaching the eggs in. So after the onions, garlic, and ginger were simmering, I put the bell pepper and the asparagus in. So it gives it sort of like a little bit of a texture as well.
Okay, great. And then the hollandaise, again, to go back, is that I like the fact that obviously we've got one more egg inspired thing on your dish. Do you have any of the hollandaise left over that we could maybe see that's not on the?
Yeah, here it's been sitting, but
okay.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make a mess for you there, but I love the dish. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
At least you can see the consistency was good, right?
Yeah, it was good. It definitely had eggs in it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chef Craig Flynn, you're next.
They've taken all of my questions. Going third, Renee is definitely the toughest spot.
That happens third, yeah.
I just wanted to know, when you made the base, the flavor base, was that being cooked either in the oven or on stove top for a while before the eggs went into it, or did it all sort of, you started off
so I
with...
was cooking all of it in the skillet on the stove top, and then obviously you let everything get to know each other, all the spices get added in, all of the chili and the vegetables, and then let that simmer until I was ready to put the eggs in, so then I could put it in the oven to bake the eggs properly.
Baked it for how many minutes? They were clearly cooked well, so or properly, I should say, not well. They were properly cooked.
Yes. Generally, I try to go for about 6 minutes if I'm doing this, but again, unfamiliar oven, so it ends up being about 12 and a half.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I had it on convection, like it's the same as everything else, but every oven's different. So
for sure. Well, it's a delicious looking dish. I wish I could have that multiple times a week. Well done. I like your moving the toast to the side over round 3, which was we I remember the judges talking about last week. All of those little subtle colors of the white and the green and the red with the yellow yolks was sort of covered up slightly with the bread. So now you've made that dish shine. So thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Chef.
Great job, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next chef, Yu-Heng Lee. Why don't you come and tell us a little bit about your dish, and then we'll have the judges will ask you a couple of questions.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yu-Heng. I'm from first year culinary management students. I'm really excited to have the chance to present my dish. Thank you all for giving us the opportunity to growing, learning, and experiencing. I would like to introduce a little bit my omelets.
Oh, nice.
Omelette is an omelette egg on top of the fried rice. As you see, when I cut egg, it was rounding and fluffy, flow down like a lava of volcanic eruption. So, but it's already 20 minutes past. So we all know the important part of the eggs serving is like the time.
I love the idea of volcanic eruption. I love it on fried rice.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to pass it off to Chef Renee. We're going to start with you again, so that you don't have any questions taken from you. Why don't you start with the questions for Yu-Heng?
Well, you already took it. I was like, literally, large words, volcanic eruption on fried rice. I love it.
Right?
So explain to me a little bit more. So you've got these beautiful, fluffy, kind of like delicious scrambled eggs. If it's okay with everybody, I'm gonna ask this young lady to I'd like to just sort of see the texture. And is that bonito flakes that I see on top as well?
Yeah, the garnish with bonito and Japanese paprikake, and so it's the seasoning mixed with dry fish, sesame, and seaweed. So it adds some crunchy and savory on the eggs.
Okay,
so
in
also
in your egg mix, so was it just I was thinking of Tsubaki, she had dashi in her egg mix. What were you using to make your sort of your scrambled egg or your omelet?
It's just egg and a little bit salt.
Oh, just egg and salt. All right, cut into it. I want to see this. Cut it in. I would tell you my address, but then everyone would know where I live. Oh, okay, beautiful. Oh, wow. Okay. I
put a running egg. I put a soft poached egg inside of my rice, so even I cut my omelet earlier because I need to finish garnish, and the omelet can wait 20 minutes.
Oh, so
You
beautiful.
see, as you
So
see.
you have a beautiful soft poached egg. How long did you poach that egg for, young lady?
I just like feel it when I touch it, it's like soft. So I just take it out.
And then your omelet on top. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Awesome. And then what is the rice seasoned with?
Rice is the rice with the favorite sausage is Chinese sausage and some bell pepper, green and red pepper, dry shrimps soaked in the water first, and I cook the sausage and the shrimp first, so make it a little bit crispy instead of bacon, and put the rice in the flavor oil, so it makes another layers flavor.
It's beautiful. Thank you very much. It looks great.
That's great, Yuhang. Thank you. Chef McKay, any questions for Yuhang tonight?
I think I was supposed to be last in this round, but I'll jump in because I got a couple. So regarding the egg, so how many different ways do you have eggs? So you have egg. First of all, I really love the poached egg idea of in the rice and then the egg on top. I'm going to steal that probably. I'll give you full credibility though. How many different ways do you have eggs? So you have egg, a poached egg, and then you have the egg on top. Is there egg in the actual rice as well?
Yeah. It's if you put the egg yolk with the rice, it will make the rice like more golden.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially 3 different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you said there were shrimp and sausage is the kind of main kind of proteins and flavors inside the rice, right?
Yeah, it's like dry small shrimps and dry sausage.
Okay, sounds good. That's all my questions. It looks delicious.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll be fast. I love the dish. I want to eat it badly for lunch tomorrow. I'm wondering about the sort of traditional condiment that is often, I believe, on top of this rice dish, whether it be a ketchup or some sort of umami-filled condiment. Did you leave that off on purpose, or is that perhaps something that's just added to an individual taste?
Yeah, great question.
It should be. It was ketchup, but I found ketchup is like too common, and I would like some umami and flavor. So I think that furikake is a great choice for the eggs.
Yeah, and you also the addition of the yolk, of course, that's really a sauce, isn't it? You know, the yolk is something that wasn't in round 3. It's obviously been an addition to this, and I think it it was a great choice. So well done, good job. It looks really, really delicious.
Thank you. So when you eat, if I serve it in a few minutes, so when you eat the rice, the hot rice with moist egg, and so it just make the taste really good.
Looks delicious. Yuhang, great job. Well done. We're going to go to our last, but definitely not least of our chef competitors. We're going to go with Robin. Robin Singh, do you want to, are you there, Robin?
Yes, hi. It's been a long time.
There you are. How are you?
I'm good.
You feeling good? You feeling pretty good there?
Pretty good, comfortable with my dish today. So
awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about your dish, and then the chefs. Tell us about your dish, and then the chefs are going to come and ask you some questions.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I just chose this dish because I want to represent my country, and I eat it like every day. So that's what I chose this dish. So just.
Yeah, just show us your. There you go. Thanks, boss.
Sure. Okay, so I make the scrambled eggs with the butter chicken sauce, but without chicken. So for the chicken tandoori marinated, I use egg rings. It's a hard boil and toast up in tandoori spices that we're supposed to do for the tandoori chicken. And like this dish is represent India. So like I use from both sides the societies like high income and low income. So scrambled eggs are really less expensive as compared to butter chicken, because it's like really rich and creamy, and it has a lot of dry spices with the cream. So that what makes it different. So I just decided to like combine both society in my plate. So that's what I did. So like you can taste this like from spices to sweetness and to the freshness of my mint sauce, which is this little drops of my scrambled eggs. And for like you can taste the spices in my scrambled eggs with the my egg rings. for the butter chicken, it's a kind of a little sweetener with a top with the cream and the dried fenugreek leaves. And for the garnishing, I like to use the croutons as a cups for my dish with a little, just a scrap for fried ginger and dill on the top with a radish. So that's all.
Sorry, can we all hear me again? I had a little bit of a hiccup there. I apologize. I'm actually now going to actually get Chef Dale McKay throwing it out there. I'm just going to change it up a little bit. Chef McKay, why don't we start with you when it comes to the question for Robin?
Great. It's a very pretty dish, Robin, very creative. I love that so many people are pulling inspiration from their background and their culture. So it looks great. I love butter chicken, obviously. The sauce, is the sauce, is there an actual sauce in the middle there? Is there like a little pool, is that right?
Yeah, kind of a pool with like a top with the cream and dried fenugreek leaves. You can see it.
Hey, can you explain what are the red rings on the side there? I'm not really sure what exactly those are.
Hard-boiled eggs. So what I did, I cut the eggs in the slices and poached out all the yolks, and I put the yolks in my butter chicken gravy, so you can like get more flavor of eggy into that sauce. So whatever you are eating, you will feel you're eating eggs. It doesn't matter you're eating butter chicken sauce, scramble, or my rings. So the rings I use, it's toast up in a tandoori spices that we use to marinate the tandoori chicken in the butter chicken sauce. So that's how you got a color of these rings.
And what are the little white pieces on top of those? Is that egg whites that are on top of those?
Oh, these ones? Oh no, these are reddish.
No, on the actual rings, on the red rings.
This one, right?
No, the egg rings that we were just speaking about.
Oh, yeah, the egg ring. This is a mint sauce, mint and coriander sauce.
The little dots. The little dots.
The little dots. It's a mint and coriander sauce.
Okay.
So for the freshness,
Okay. And sorry, one last question. Is there any heat, like in the sense of actual hot to the dish, or is it more just warming spices, or is there any actual heat?
There's not actually heat in this whole dish, so it's a kind of a warm. You can heat it. Like the sauce is a kind of a mild, not that much hot, but the flavor you can have all in this my egg rings and scrambled eggs. So the sauce is for just balancing your spice level.
Great. I think it's a beautiful dish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef.
Great questions. You know what? Really kind of tough when you can't actually be in the room to smell and touch with your own fork and knife as a judge. It's got to be really difficult for you. So I appreciate these amazing questions, chefs. Thank you. I'm going to go to Renee Lavallee, if I may, for Robin, and then we'll finish off with Chef Flynn before we go to the next stage.
All right, Robin, here we go. You're the last one. All right,
Yes.
So I'm curious, what did you boil your egg in to get it so red?
No, I didn't boil it. So
Did you let it boil?
Yeah, I just sit in in oil. So it's a kind of canola oil, a little bit with this olive and with spices. So you get flavors and then color in that. The color get its actual Kashmiri red chilies from North India. So
Okay.
that's what gives it color. It's a kind of not spicy, giving more color to your dish. So that we use for our chicken too. So that spice give the color, and the flavors are a little bit of cardamom, cinnamon, the kind of that you got in the tandoori chicken. So
Okay, I'm just curious. I'd like to know, because you say you eat this every morning, or you usually make something similar to this every morning at home?
I make scrambled eggs every day.
Scrambled eggs. Okay, so I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to see where the sort of the egg rings and the scrambled eggs. Would they traditionally be part of the dish, or is it more like a garnish?
Yeah, actually, I never seen egg rings in my entire life. Actually, I make it my own idea.
Okay.
So it's just keeping my chicken in butter chicken. So I just twisted it with my egg rings. That's the only idea I got. So I did it.
Okay. Can you actually eat the egg rings?
Of course. You want me to eat it?
Well, no, I'm curious. I'm very curious because I said, is it more of is it more of a garnish, or when you think of a dish, to me, when I think of a dish, I think of everything that I put on a plate has to sort of somewhere meet each other so that they complement one another. That's why I'm very curious by
it's totally
the red rings. But and what did you put? What were the spices again that you put in your scrambled eggs?
It's a turmeric with the degi red mirt and with the garam masala and coriander powder. That's it.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Awesome.
Thank you.
And then you put the yolks from your rings into your butter chicken
Yes,
sauce.
butter chicken sauce to make it a little bit eggy.
And then you say those are croutons I see on top as well?
Yeah, they are like croutons for the carbs in the dish.
Okay, beautiful. Well, thank you very much, Robin.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And for the last questions from our judges, Chef Flynn.
Well, Robin, lovely color, lovely balance, significant changes over round 3 in terms of the overall presentation. And I think the addition of another egg preparation and the rings on the side was not only a great idea for this competition, but very much like the play on the chicken and the egg. I mean, I think that's very clever.
Yeah.
But the fact that is not an element that would traditionally be served in that way, shows that you've sort of come up with something that is, true to the nature of the dish and to the memories you have associated with it. But also something you haven't seen before. So I think most of the other technical questions, I've got all my notes from Renee and Dale's questions. So I think I'm good, but I like the direction that you took it over the last 9 days, and congratulations.
Thank you, Chef.
That's great. Great job. Listen, from me to all the competitors for round 1, thank you very much. Great job. You crushed it. Okay. But now the night's not over. Okay, chefs. So what you need to do is what? Clean up, get ready to go for the next round. We've got about 5 minutes or so. Okay. And then we're going to move into the next round. Ladies and gentlemen, that was part 1 of our evening. That was the individual chef creations that were inspired by these wonderful eggs. Tonight, next step, we're going to move into part 2, which is going to be the demo or the cooking technique. The cooking technique is going to be done by Chef Craig. And we're going to get that set up in just a few minutes. But listen, we don't really know how this has all gone down. Like, this has been a process. This competition has been in the works for a long, long time. And what I'm going to do is we're actually going to do a bit of a mashup on how we got here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass it on to our amazing crew in the back, and we're going to play a mashup video for all of you so you can watch and see the journey that these young chefs have taken to get to where they are today on the plate. And then we'll have more of a conversation, especially with our judges a little bit later on, to really discuss, as Chef Flynn was talking about, last time he saw some of these dishes, there's changes. And what we've seen in these chefs, even in a very short period of time, we've seen evolution of their dish. And that's really quite fantastic. So I'm looking forward to hearing all of that feedback from everybody. I'm going to pass it off to our technical team, and we're going to move on to our mashup video. We're going to see you in 5 minutes. Enjoy.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Farm to Table, a virtual culinary challenge hosted by Egg Farmers of Canada and NSCC.
Hello, my name is Sunny.
I absolutely love cooking with egg.
Hello, I'm Aflal, a culinary student from NSCC. I love eggs and I have eggs every day.
Not only are eggs nutritious and delicious, but they're incredibly versatile.
Hi, my name is Tsubaki Onishi. I'm attending culinary management class in Acre campus in Germany.
The 5 pillars of sustainable egg farming.
I'm trying to utilize the whole flavors and utilize egg into my dish.
To create almost like this kind of fun open-faced slider that has a bit of a unique twist on it.
And when you open it up, you will see the beautiful runny egg yolk for us.
20 to 30% the egg product. So is that affect the quality of the egg?
It can affect the quality of the eggs if the lights are too bright.
That when you will leave the hens inside the barn and outside the barn, how do you protect them from pests and predators?
All our hens are indoors.
Everyone is going to have precisely 45 minutes to prepare their dish.
You know, it's always a great learning experience for the students, and sometimes things in competition, things you know, don't go as planned. So sometimes they have to improvise. So we may see some of that, or we may not. It's supposed to be a runny egg. If it's not runny, well, then it's not runny.
I really love in Canada how we have like global international taste, but we have like these amazing like local Canadian ingredients.
I'm making an egg yolk ravioli.
I'm serving this with mushroom broth I made from kombu and dried mushroom, and I'm seasoning with the soy sauce and then fish sauce and then rice vinegar to give a little bit of lightness.
Come on, right? Like, you want to talk about a journey? Like, I have to tell you, there's nothing more enjoyable than to see the joy that cooking for others brings people, and to see it happen at such a at this level of their careers. Well, it's really fantastic and kind of inspiring to see that. What a great, you know, what a great journey they've been on, and I can hardly wait to see what happens at the end of the night. What we're going to do now is actually going to bring our chef judge colleagues to come on back, and we're going to have a little bit of a chat, because, you know, I have to tell you, there's you know, the most versatile ingredient, in my opinion, out there, eggs, and we've seen a whole bunch of dishes, 6 tremendously skilled dishes, I think, and I'd love to have the judges come and have a chat a little bit, because, you know, who better than these 3 judges to talk about competitions? And there is definitely no shortage of experience here. The chef judges that we have tonight have spent their entire career, well, not just sweating onions, but sweating bullets in the kitchens. So let's bring our chefs back so we can have a quick conversation, and start with Chef Dale about kind of, you know, your remarks and comments and feedback on what you've seen tonight so far.
Sure. Well, first of all, I just want to thank the Egg Farmers of Canada and NSCC for having, you know, obviously this competition and pushing the culinary industry, because these are all the young chefs that are hopefully all going to be in our kitchens at some point, and we're going to be sitting down in their dining rooms. You know, competition to me has been a big part of my whole career and my life. I find competition in all respects really pushes you individually. You know, it pushes yourself. It teaches you time management. It, you know, teaches you discipline. I always find when you put yourself under pressure, you generally kind of react either well or you don't react well. But either way, it's something new, and you understand a bit more about yourself. You know, and then when it comes to actual creating a dish, you know, I love seeing the evolution of each dish from the past rounds to seeing it to the final round, because that's really what food's all about. And what we all do as chefs, you know, I might make a dish and I might be okay with it or happy with it, but when I go home at nighttime, especially in competition, I think about that dish. I think about how I could have cooked it better, or what I could have done better, what I would do again if I had an opportunity. And we've given you know, these chefs that opportunity to show progression and show themselves getting better each round, and I love that. I say this all the time whenever I get to be involved in these things and around culinary students. I think I take more away from these than the students do, because when I leave, I'm always so excited about food. I always want to think about, I'm always excited to go and cook the next day and come up with dishes, because I always say, you know, being a culinary student is literally probably the most exciting point in your career, because everything's new, everything's exciting, a new product, a new technique. So I want to congratulate all the chefs, and obviously all the 6 finalists here for first of all putting yourself out there, because that takes a lot. And that's what this industry is all about, is putting yourself out there, putting yourself under pressure and driving and pushing yourself. This is a very self-motivated career. So I want to congratulate you all for putting on an amazing show for all of us to watch. And I know it's a cliche to say there's really no losers in this. This is just a bunch of winners, and so congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome, Renee. You want to follow up with some remarks there? Great points, Dale. Thanks very much for sharing that.
Well, Gareth, I also want to thank the Egg Farmers of Canada, because if it wasn't for them, brunch wouldn't happen every Saturday at work, as we go through many eggs in many forms, whether it be hollandaise or poached or shakshukas or everything else. But I actually, you know what, I wanted to touch base on how you started it, talking about the omelet. So I'll never forget one of my jobs that I had, and they wouldn't let me on the line until I had literally perfected the French omelet. And to me, growing up, an omelet was like this brown, fluffy, crusty looking thing. But I remember they're like, no, Renee, there must be no color. It must be beautiful. It must be voluptuous. So, you know, it's funny how eggs, many of us think of it like eggs are for breakfast, but in a lot of places, eggs are for lunch. We serve eggs here, you know, at home all the time for dinner. But I know at my house, eggs are a staple, because I let you know there's 4 of us, well, 5 of us that live here, because I count the dog because he also loves eggs. I think we honestly, and I'm not like, this isn't like a lie, I think we go through probably like 8 dozen eggs here a week. I know it's crazy, but it's true. But you know what? It's you know, I commend all these students. I mean, it's a lot to really put yourself out there, and especially like doing this right now in this day and age on Zoom. I couldn't even imagine if you guys had to watch me cook in my kitchen right now. It'd actually be pretty funny. So, but you know, great job, everybody. Like I said, I wish I was there to taste everything. And you know what? On to the next thing. Craig's gonna fry some eggs, and then everyone's gonna fry an egg too. Shocking. I don't know how I would do, but you know, it'll be great.
I think Dale can attest to the fact that I'm rather nervous. Oh,
don't be nervous. Come on. You fry eggs all the time. Come on.
I know. Listen, to all the students, just a few words here. Congratulations. I'm echoing a lot of what has just been said, but in an industry that is, as Dale said, self-motivated, it takes a lot to put yourself out there. It takes a lot to not only come up with a dish and to cook it on camera when people are watching and doing all this stuff, but you've also done different stages, and you've had to take in a lot of information from myself last week and from your mentors during the week. So you're taking all this in, and you're staying true to the dish. And that was the one thing that really struck me, is that all 6 of you cooked passionately about you know, how eggs made you feel, you know, the childhood memories often, the cultural associations, you know, it's really quite impactful. And what was, you know, for me, there's also this in competition, there's also this idea of how do you be really, really creative and come up with something that's going to impress the judges and win, yet at the same time stay true to the ingredient. In this case, you know, perhaps an egg is best served poached and slightly runny with a bit of salt on it. I mean, that's where you taste all of the subtleties of the yolk and the texture, etc. but you can't do that in a competition. You have to do more. And that's what really impressed me, is that fine line between being creative but paying homage to the Canadian egg and all the egg farmers that bring this into our homes and into our professional kitchens, every day. So, that really is what left me about this. You chose to make the egg a star. You also had many applications where the egg was doing a job in the dish, binding it, adding texture, etc. But then you also had that X factor. The X factor is, how do you incorporate this ingredient into something that's new and exciting? So I really appreciated seeing how you guys evolved. And I'm sorry that we can't taste it, but our virtual taste buds were ready to go. So congratulations. Thank you to Egg Farmers, and thank you to NSCC and all of the chefs that were behind the scenes helping these students evolve their dishes. Cheers.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Chef. We really appreciate that. Great comments from all of you. You know what, I think that when especially in these kind of competitions and sharing your experiences, and I think that was really great. So I really appreciate that you shared those stories. Next, really kind of another reason why we're here is the Egg Farmers of Canada, and we have a representative tonight in Jill Thomas. She's going to be popping in here, I think. Give her a bit of a wave. I hope you get to see her. Myself and Jill are going to have a little bit of a conversation. We're going to chat a little bit about the Egg Farmers of Canada, representing more than 1,200 regulated egg farmers in all the provinces and Northwest Territories, really ensures Canadians having a continuous supply of fresh, local, high quality eggs year round. And that's a pretty important thing, right? To have these ingredients year round and at a high quality level in supporting them. And, Jill is joining us today. We're very fortunate, she's right in our backyard, my backyard here. And she's joining us today, second generation Canadian egg farmer based in Nova Scotia. Now, Jill, you're the owner of, is it the Thomas Family Farms?
It is, our farm's called Scotia Poultry Farm Limited, and we are right here in Cole Harbour.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. Well, tell us a little bit about your story and kind of what it's like being an egg farmer and kind of what is it like for you to see these, when you've spent your entire life, as an egg farmer, and when you start seeing that result, that these students are working on and creating and developing these amazing dishes. What's that all about? Tell us a little bit about kind of the day in the life of an egg farmer, and what's it like for you to see, these amazing products come out on a plate?
Well, it just blows me away what these students can do with these eggs. These dishes look phenomenal, and I really wish we could have tasted some of them, because who knew eggs would be, you could do pretty much anything with eggs. And these guys really let their imaginations and used stuff that I wouldn't have even considered in the dish. And I bet you they taste phenomenal. So kudos to them. And I'm just very impressed with everything I've seen in the last 2 rounds.
That's amazing. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of the supply management aspect of egg farming, and some of the information maybe that you provide our students at the beginning, because I know they had an opportunity to chat with you throughout this competition. So what kind of information did you provide them with?
Well, supply management it's a fantastic system that allows us all to be a part, and it helps to keep us from oversupplying. So we can just supply enough to do the demand that is necessary. It just keeps everything in check so that nobody is doing any better than anybody else. I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Kind of like leveling the field, right? In that sense.
It makes it very fair. Yes, very fair. It's been a great life. I really love my life, and I love farming. Every day's different on the farm, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So listen, I appreciate you, you sort of sharing your story a little bit. And, these are some things that I never really knew about either, kind of like what supply management is all about at that high level. And we just can't thank you enough, and thank everyone for taking part. Everybody here taking part on the unique dishes that were created and the versatility of eggs. And you know what, I think we're going to sort of make our steps to the next round. Jill, we appreciate it. We're going to come back and chat with you obviously throughout the next little bit. But I wanted to thank the Egg Farmers of Canada for their sponsorship, and they're allowing us to showcase these amazing ingredients. And it's never a shortage of us learning as well. So this has been a real eye-opening experience for myself as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the audience, that is you, everyone watching right now. You're going to have an opportunity. Down below, there should be a link, I believe. There should be a link for the viewer's choice. Like we talked about at the very beginning of the night, out of the 3 prizes, one of the prizes is a viewer's choice prize, and it's a $500 cash prize, and that'll end up also with a gift certificate or dinner gift letter to come here in the student-driven restaurant that we have here at NSCC Ackerley campus. So there should be a link coming down, and you will be able to make your vote. Now, we're going to start with part 2 of this night, which is the chef technical demonstration. And that's going to be going to our good friend here, Chef Craig Flynn, and we're going to get ready to do his demonstration. Chef Flynn.
All righty. So I hope everybody can see my little cooking station here. I am going to challenge the students how to do a classic over easy egg. Now, we've talked a lot about how versatile an egg is and how it is, obviously very important to understand how to use it in many different applications, but it's equally important to know, in particular in a restaurant environment, how do you do an over easy egg? How do you do over hard? How do you do a poached egg, etc.? How do you make the classic French omelet? These are the standards of technique that all chefs need to know. So we're going to actually do this, the over easy egg. And what I'm going to challenge you to do after I show you the first time is to come up, sort of hit 3 targets. And the targets you're looking for is no colorization. That's the first thing. You cook low and slow, not too hot. So you're looking at sort of like a low to medium, in between low and medium on your range. I'm using a portable burner here, and it's on an extremely low flame. You can tell that, obviously I'm not burning myself when I do that. So that's kind of what you're looking for. You want to have the whites cooked all the way through, but to be extremely tender. Yet when you flip it, the yolk should be runny, but still a little bit warm, or it should be warm. So that's the classic, no colorization, tender, but fully cooked whites, and a runny yet warmed yolk. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Now, as with all things in the culinary world, there are slight variations to classic recipes. First one is, do I use oil or butter or clarified butter, ghee? You can use anything you have handy. The one thing I would say is that if you use whole butter, you really have to keep the temperature low. Otherwise, you'll get browning of the butter and it'll discolor the white. So I'm going to choose to use some extra virgin olive oil because that will minimize that risk because of the higher smoke point. Second thing is you have to make the decision on whether or not you're going to flip this way without sort of in the air in the pan, which is one way to do an over easy egg, or whether or not you're going to use a spatula. I'm going to demonstrate using a spatula. My reasoning for that is a very good chance that you're going to have an opportunity in a professional kitchen, cooking brunch or whatnot, to be cooking on a large grill or flat top, and you'll probably have multiple orders on, and there's a good chance you'll use a spatula like this, and you'll do a slide in and over type of motion. So I'm going to sort of replicate that for this demonstration, but you certainly could just flip it by hand. I'm going to start off with about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, not too much oil. I'm looking for a shimmer. I'm looking for it to coat, but I'm also not looking for too much sign of an intense heat. Cracking an egg, you're going to crack on a flat surface. To not break the membrane, I'm on a little portable table here that's made of plastic, so I'm going to have to go a little harder. All right, into the middle of the pan, very gently pull it apart to avoid the shell and avoid breaking the egg. Oh my goodness, look at that. I broke the yolk. Dale, what do we talk about? I broke the yolk, everybody. There you go. A quick fix. Now, to avoid that, for all of you, don't do multiple taps on the surface. Try to do a good aggressive one single tap on perhaps the side of your cutting board, and that will help that from happening again. So let's try that again, shall we?
Are there some other techniques, Chef Flynn, that for cracking eggs, or is there kind of like
Well,
a one-way to do it?
effectively, the yolk is surrounded by the protective albumin. By me trying that 3 or 4 times, I rattled it too much. But the trick is to just one solid crack on a flat surface, and you'll break that, but you won't tear the inner membrane, and that will prevent it. And I'm going to try this one more time. Look. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this. All right. We didn't break the yolk. I guess we did.
There you go. There you go, Chef.
All right. Now, seasoning. Oh my goodness. The yolk broke again. Dale, save me, save me. Renee.
So let's talk. No, you're gold.
I can't believe it. So that's what's happening here.
Sorry, Craig, I can't help you, but you're doing a great job.
You know what? This is all. Hey, isn't this all about recovery?
Third time's a charm. We could
It's
talk
all
about
about
hollandaise.
learning.
We could talk about hollandaise till the cows come home if you really want to, but this is about cooking eggs. Third time's a charm, Craig. You got this.
I'm just going to have to I'm going to crack it on the floor. I think that's what I'm going
You
to
know, tomorrow morning you're going to make probably 10 the perfect over easy eggs for you and your family, and it's not going to be a problem. But then
And I'll tell you
get-
something. I actually practiced this 6 times today, and this didn't happen a single time.
Try
Craig,
the plate.
Could you maybe try it? Could you maybe try it on the plate to your left a bit?
Yeah, I definitely will. All right, here we go.
Maybe give that a shot.
There.
Oh, I think this is the one. Third time's a charm. You're right, Renee. I think. Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Oh my goodness, the pressure, the pressure.
Brilliant.
All right, good seasoning. Definitely want salt and pepper on there. So as we let that sit, we're definitely looking for no colorization. We want to watch the temperature carefully. And we're looking for that translucent white to sort of go and come up sort of very slowly from the bottom. So that's the first thing we're doing. And you really can't rush this. You're just going to have to be patient. It's probably going to take somewhere around 1.5 minutes to 1:45, maybe 2 minutes if you're on very low. Okay.
Looks like you got a perfect temp in the pan there, though. Hey.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing you sort of have to learn is that every stove is going to be different, every electric burner is going to be different. And in a professional kitchen, especially if you have a grill or a flat top, you can set it to the right temperature at the beginning of service, and it sort of holds there for the whole duration.
Yeah, I've always found with egg cookery is it's all about using your equipment and having those warm spots where you know those pans are going to be perfectly warm, where you can grab one, pull one, crack one, and kind of move them around.
Exactly. So now what we're looking for here is to start that moving. Now you don't want to try to do anything with that white before it solidifies a little bit. Otherwise it'll disintegrate as you try to flip it. And I'm definitely not there yet. All I'm doing here is slightly moving it around to try to get some of that lubrication underneath the yolk. And as I do that, what's that? Sorry.
I'm nervous just watching this, but I couldn't imagine if you're doing, 250 covers at brunch on a Sunday and your guys are just absolutely working in that kitchen and you're doing all these eggs. And here's the thing about breakfast. Everyone has their own personal type of egg that they want. Not one egg is the same when it comes to a customer, right? So sorry, go ahead.
That's why we only do sunny side up.
And that's why when you get a good brunch cook or a good breakfast cook, you keep them happy, because when they can sling out 100 eggs an hour, they're valuable. And it really is all about that feel. If you cook 100 eggs a day, you'll get pretty good at it. But then chefs that have been cooked for 20 years, like us, when we do it once every 2 months, then we break a few eggs.
Speak for yourself, Dale.
All right. I guess we'll get a live stream this weekend from your restaurant.
Yeah,
we're gonna do the
actually, I'm working eggs from 8 to 12.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
8 to 12.
So I think I have a good. So we're looking for fully cooked yet not tough. We're ready for the flip now. So I'm just going to basically slide this somewhat aggressively up and over, and there we go. So you
Nice.
can't be too gentle with it. Now at this point, you're probably looking at only about 30 seconds or so on this side, maybe 40 if you're on low temperature. And one trick, if you're doing it individually, is to actually turn the heat off and let the residual heat of the pan finish that side. In this case, we'll just sort of plow on until we get it to where we're looking. So again, we're looking at fully cooked. I can tell by the consistency that it's not that sort of undercooked white in the middle. And now we're going to just loosen it up very gently and then slide it onto the plate. Turn that off. And after 3 tries, we have an over easy egg. So what again we're looking for is not a lot of colorization. The slight little bit you see there is actually the color of the olive oil. It's tender looking, but still has a little bit of a bounce. And of course, as we cut in, what you're looking for is the creamy yolk, but also yolk that's warmed through and not a lot of sort of gelatinous white showing there. So that would be an over easy egg in my estimation. So
I want some champagne orange juice.
Yeah, grab me some toast.
Beautiful. So now I guess we're going to challenge them to do it 1 time, not 3. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to move my camera.
Oh, look at them. They're just raring to go, chef. They're waiting for the instructions. Okay. Chefs, are you ready? Lingna, Robin, yeah, we're good. Thumbs up to everyone. Chef Flynn, you're back.
I'm back.
Give them their task. And how much time do we have for this task?
So what I'll be looking for is 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to complete it. Hands up after 5 minutes. And then we're going to ask you to cut into the yolks and hold them up to the camera. So on your mark, get set, go.
Okay, chefs, let's go. Get cracking. Get cracking. There's another one, Renee. Okay, chefs are going to go. Chef Jonathan and Chef Sean Ketley will keep an eye. They'll monitor the 5 minutes. They'll look at some sanitation, making sure the stations are clean. It's not just about cooking in the pan here. We're looking at also how they manage themselves in the kitchen. I think is a big thing that in cooking competitions, which we'll talk a little bit later on, but you know, it's not just about what's happening in the pan and on the plate. It's also the environment around you that's extremely important. And I think that with that, I think that, you know, maybe, you know, if some of you want to share maybe some of your stories about the importance of keeping that station clean when you're competing, especially, that's got to be, I mean, I can't even imagine what it's like to multitask in that situation.
Yeah, you know, going back to, you know, egg, like being a breakfast cook or brunch cook, you know, it really comes down to organization, all cooking in general, but breakfast, if you're not set up ready to go, you're going to go down harder than I think any other station in the kitchen. And like you said, you know, when people come for breakfast or for brunch, it's one of those meals that everybody cooks at home at some point, you know, and so everybody has an idea of what they think a perfect over easy egg is or what a perfect poached egg is. And so you really do have a lot of critics out there when it comes to cooking breakfast and cooking brunch, and eggs, you know, like we've talked about, easily one of the most diverse ingredients you're ever going to use, but just a simple over easy egg with some salt and pepper is really a quite a magical thing, but it's a very elegant thing. It's not, you can't be too aggressive with it. You really have to kind of show patience, and that comes over time when it comes to being a chef. You know, it's not just grab a spatula, grab a pan and start smacking around. It really takes some elegance.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dale, that was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
It was really lovely. You don't just smack it around. Just don't smack that egg around.
No,
I don't know.
Show some respect.
Well, no, it's like when I actually do work eggs at brunch. I actually quite enjoy it because I don't have to think.
Yeah.
Eggs, Renee, eggs. And I'm just like, I have like 6 pans on my burners. I have a system.
Yeah.
Arthur, you should come watch my system. It's actually hilarious.
And that's the same. It's all about this, right?
It's all about like I have a system and I know exactly what I'm doing. And I have a big pail beside me, and I've got like the 2 cases of eggs on my side. And I'm literally just like cracking, seasoning, flipping, knowing exactly, which egg is where at what time, and then just like.
I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna jump in there real quick. Sorry to cut you off, Renee. Chef Flynn, do you want to talk to any of the chefs that potentially might be finished their egg right now? Like Robin looks like he's kind of just on standby. I don't know if you want to have them present their egg to you. What would you like to do there, Chef?
Well, sure. I think in the interest of time, anybody who does finish, you could certainly show. I think a couple of people are still waiting for their pans to get hot enough there, but at the same time, that's good as long as you have some fat under there. That's not going to hurt you. This is all about gentle cooking. If Robin is ready to go, we might as well try to gain back some of our time. And why don't you show me your egg there?
Yep.
Just hold it right up to the camera.
Sure. Can you see
Just
it?
down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just down.
Just tilt it down just a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't see my photo, so yeah, here you go. So actually, yolk
okay.
gets a little separated while I'm flipping it.
Did you flip using a spatula, or did you try the hand flip in the pan?
I did use a spatula.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I noticed that somebody looked like they might have been trying to loosen it a little bit. And, obviously, I just showed you how two yolks can break very easily if you're not careful at the beginning.
I just got to jump in there. So we're at 60 seconds left in the 5 minutes, folks.
Thank you. Okay, so you have a runny yolk, and how's the white? Is it fully cooked but tender?
Yeah, chef.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. Thank you.
And at what point did you season the egg, Robin?
Once I got the white color around my egg in the pan, I just season it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, looks like somebody else done. Yes. Yuhan, are you finished there?
I think Sarah's done. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, Sarah. We'll get to you next. Okay, Yuhan, can you?
10, 9,
Yes, I'm finished.
8, 7, 6.
Can you cut in and show?
5,
Looks good. No
4,
coloring.
3, 2, 1, and your eggs are due.
All right.
Okay, it looks good. Looks very good. No coloring. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. I guess we're gonna go to Sarah now.
Oh, Lingna.
Oh, Lingna. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's a very good egg right there. Well done.
That's great.
Beautiful. Good job. Okay, Sarah. Let's go to Sarah. She's been waiting a little bit there. Very good. Now, so yeah, you seasoned on the top of the egg, did you?
Yes.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just asking. All good. Thank you. So good runny yolk. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Who do we have left? Oh, that looks nice. Oh, look at the added presentation. That's beautiful. Excellent. That's stunning looking. Okay, cut into that and let's see both the yolk and the white and see the texture. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Subaki.
Nice.
Yeah, very, very nice. That's perfect. Thank you. Well done. And
we still have Olivia.
Yeah, mine ended up being a little bit more sunny side up. My spatula was a little too thick, wouldn't get under the egg to flip it.
Understood.
Yeah.
So how's the texture of the white? I mean, it looks like because you had a bit of a delayed start there because you were monitoring your temperature really closely, which is a good thing. So you have a very tender white, but you just lost the yolk a bit on the top.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it happens easily. I just showed you that. Well, good job. Have we seen everybody? Was that 6?
I think.
Yep, that's all of them there, Chef.
Okay. Beautiful.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, it's I mean, we're in different environments, we're in different kitchens. Chef Flynn's in his basement on a Bunsen burner on a plastic table. So I think we need to give each other, everyone just, you know what, let's just champion each other here, and great job for everyone. Not only in this round, which is so tough, right? 5 minutes, you got to cook the egg perfect, yolk, whites, there has to be at the right temperature. We'll get into kind of, you know, why egg technique is so important. That kind of wraps up. We've wrapped up part 2. Thank you, students. Well done. Thank you, Chef Flynn, for the demonstration. And thank you all for being calm and cool under the pressure that you've been under today. I think we're going to move on and we're going to chat a little bit about the round and what we've seen. Talk about, you know, maybe some of your favorite eggs, chefs. And I'm talking about chef judges here, not students. You know, chefs, you know, Dale, Renee, Craig, you know, you've had such a wonderful career. All of you are, you know, you've spent so much time. You've got great stories, and as my story as well is always, you know, egg, and there's about chefs that have inspired us. And I'd love to hear some more of your stories about maybe chefs that have inspired you. You know, best way that you like to eat eggs. I know, you know, in our industry, we eat at the strangest of times. We eat hunched over a garbage can at times, and we always seem to find comfort in eggs, whether it's for breakfast or it's breakfast for dinner, whichever. And I think that it'd be really great at this moment in time for us to sort of share some of those stories. You know, why don't we go to, you know what, Chef Dale, do you want to tell us your story? Fave way to eat eggs. How about that?
Oh, that's an incredibly difficult one. I'm just gonna say straight up scramble because that's pretty much what I have every morning, and I love them with. I don't like them too, in the sense of like too rich in this way. You know, we'd make them in a French kitchen. I like mine slightly dry because I eat so many of them. I usually eat about 5 to 6 eggs in the morning. But favorite egg story. There's so many egg stories because there's so many dishes that eggs go into. I would have to say, again, going back to being a culinary student or being a young cook, a chef named David Wong was the one that kind of explained and showed me how to make hollandaise. And I think that pretty much blew my mind for an entire month. It's all that I could think about, just watching the egg yolks balloon up and you know, go into those velvety kind of rings that we all know when you're looking to make a hollandaise. So I think it's just the versatility and that the eggs have, that, you know, go from a souffle to a scrambled egg to egg wash. Actually, egg wash is one of my funnier egg stories. When I worked in Japan for 2 years, I asked one of the pastry chefs to make me some egg wash, and I looked over about 10 minutes later, and she was actually in the sink washing eggs. And instead of actually giving me some cracked eggs with a little bit of egg wash to brush pastry. So my question to her was, how many eggs did you know how to wash? So she just had a full case in there, washing them one by one. So I thought that was pretty funny. That was more of a verbal communication issue more than anything else.
Yeah, great story. I love that. I know that we could probably share all these stories all night long. I'm gonna go to Renee because we know how much she's gonna be cooking eggs tomorrow morning. And we're gonna do it
not
on Sunday
tomorrow
as
morning,
well.
Garth. Saturday morning. I'll be cooking eggs from 8 to 4, and then I'll be relieved by my sous chef. She will do 12 to 2. No, honestly, I have 2 kids, and literally it is like the saving grace in the morning to do eggs, because everyone loves eggs. My daughter paddles, I don't want to say professionally, she's like a hardcore paddler, and we live right on Lake Bannock. So every day she literally, it drives me nuts. But whenever I come home from work in the before dinner, there's always this little teeny tiny like nonstick pan on our stove from work. And there's literally like 4 pans of butter in there. And she fries herself 2 eggs every day before she goes paddling. And I always say to Zoe, I was like, Zoe, I love that you like to cook eggs every day when you come home from school. I love that you do this, but can you not just like clean it up? But no, like for me, it's just like, it's such a simple thing. Like here at home, it's like, we try to like have like a system that I know that we have something that's, everyone's always like off somewhere doing a sport or working or going to the gym. So eggs are always like one of those things, like whether it's like a quiche or a frittata, which are really like simple for us to do. But like my daughter eats eggs. Both my kids eat eggs every day. And it's like kind of crazy. But at work, it's like brunch. She's a beast. I mean, let me tell you, between the hollandaise and like slinging out eggs, I'm trying to come up with a really good pun for you, Garth. It's like exceptional.
Oh boy.
It's exciting.
Nice.
It's I can't say it's exertainment. It's exertainment.
Excellent. Let's move on to Chef Craig.
Well, everybody, I've got a fantastic story about this time that I was doing a live demo in front of lots of students trying to show them how to cook a perfect over easy egg, and I broke 2 yolks. It was hilarious. You should have seen it. But all that said, I have to say that my favorite way to eat eggs goes back to a lot of time spent in France. It's a very simple dish. It's called œuf mayonnaise. It's sort of a medium cooked whole egg with a fresh mayonnaise over the top, often served with bread and a nice crisp, cool glass of white wine. It's kind of like the perfect egg dish because you can you can taste the egg. It's certainly the star, but of course, then you have the technique that's involved with properly cooking the egg, not overcooking the yolk, but also more importantly, perhaps not overcooking the white, because that sometimes happens when you have hard cooked eggs. But then, of course, the mayonnaise technique as well. We're not talking about opening a jar here. We're talking about fresh mayonnaise with red wine vinegar, a splash of lemon, etc. So that's my favorite way to enjoy it. And of course, there's many, many other recipes. I love a fried egg sandwich. I was telling Chef Claude last week of a recipe that I've enjoyed since I was a kid, which is medium cooked hard-boiled eggs served with a pat of butter in the middle of them, salt and pepper, and then a side of really crisp toast with strawberry jam. It's one of the best things you'll ever taste. So I definitely love the egg in all forms, and that's my favorite.
That's great. Chefs, I want to thank you for your stories, and I'm sure that we have more coming up. But we're going to move to the next round of the event. We're going to move our chefs to the next to the breakout room, and I'm going to have myself, Jill, students are here, and Chef O'Coin, Claude O'Coin, and we're gonna have a conversation while the chefs go into the next room to start working on their judging. Are we all here? We're good. We're gonna have a little 12-minute clock right now while the judges are going to be going and deliberating and sort of chatting about the dishes. I'm going to have Chef O'Coin and Chef O'Coin, are you there? I don't see anyone yet. Perfect, they're coming back. So listen, everyone, I have to tell you, egg stories, like we were just sharing a little bit of things in the earlier on there about eggs, and they are so personal. I know I've worked in a couple of different restaurants where guests would literally, one guest will have his version of sunny side up is their way. One guest over easy version is their way. Poached, hard, soft. Like, could you imagine? Could you actually imagine being a breakfast cook? I couldn't do it. Students, are you there? Favorite eggs for yourselves, students?
Favorite egg.
My favorite egg is probably poached egg on the noodles because it's quick and easy. Like I don't want to be fancy now. Just throw the poached egg on top or toast. That's my favorite. Easy.
Awesome. Listen, Jill, we got Jill back in our room. That's awesome. Great to see you. How are you, Jill? Let's talk eggs.
Yes, I'm here. I'm back. I'm not sure what happened.
That's okay. Listen, it's technology. Yeah. It's kind of the world we live in right now. Jill, let's chat a little bit about eggs and what you're seeing right now, and a little bit more about the Egg Farmers of Canada and about what you do. And let's chat. The room is yours.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Egg Farmers of Canada is a wonderful organization. We have our Nova Scotia egg producers as well. It just makes everything run very smooth. It doesn't matter what size farm you are, you're treated equal. So, a day on the farm for me is I get up, I'm into work at 8 o'clock. I have to check for feed and water. Then we have to walk the barn to check on the chickens. And then we gather eggs. That's the biggest part of our day. And then we do a lot of cleaning because we like to have a clean environment for the chickens, and they like it too. So yeah, and it's our barns are climate controlled, so they have we give them as best of a life as we can.
We like to keep our kitchens clean like the barn.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit, Claude and Jill. Let's talk a little about kind of your experience the past, about round 3 and the competition. And let's chat a bit to students a little bit about that. What are your thoughts?
Well, round 3 was very interesting. I saw some of it develop at school because we had the 25 students, we had 23 that were on campus at Akerley. So there was lots of, I was approached for lots of ideas, but since I was a judge, I was sort of, taking a step back, but there was many students involved, and there was amazing dishes, and there was a variety of dishes. So that was, and for a lot of them, it was their first cooking competition. So it was nerve-wracking for them and challenging and exciting. And so a lot of emotions going on.
Yeah, I bet. Jill, what about your experience through seeing the competition sort of progress and the evolution and how, maybe things have changed and how some of the dishes have maybe been tweaked since the last time you saw them?
Yeah, it's been great to see that the students have taken some feedback that they were given, and they really took advantage of that feedback, and they made some great changes. I was surprised at how some of the dishes had tweaked a bit and much better. Like I was quite thrilled, and I'm quite thrilled with what they produced, because it does amaze me what they can make.
There was definitely some progression in a lot of in a lot of cases. Yeah. That were significant. There were subtle changes, but I think there were significant changes in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And was there, Jill, did they present the dishes in round 3 at all to you?
Yes. Yeah, we got to see all the dishes up close, same as this round. Yep.
And did you see them grow and evolve as well in their descriptions of the dishes and things, or?
Yeah, they seem to have a much better ease about talking about their dishes this round, and gave more information themselves. We didn't have to pry as much information out of them. So yes, there was a progression there as well.
And at some point, I think there was better camera angles today, I think, because they were now used to, round 2. So there was some learning that happened with the technology as well. So.
Yeah, it's hard to take a selfie with an egg plate beside your face. Right. Well, while we're continuing kind of chatting a little bit, and we've talked a little bit about kind of the mentorship piece that's been going through here, and the students' efforts throughout the competition. Should we maybe have a chat with some of the students and see kind of what their thoughts are and how their experience has been? Are we there, students? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to chat with Lingna. Lingna, do you want to share your experience a little bit about kind of the whole competition and how you've enjoyed it, or your experience working with Jill and Claude and your chef mentors? Lingna, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience and how you've enjoyed it?
And ask her how many times she cooked the dish to get it to where she wanted it to be.
Well, there we go. I think a question has been asked of you, Lingna. So how was your experience, and how many times did you practice it?
For like maybe I use 100 or 200 egg, because I go crazy with the custard texture, and I learn a lot through this competition. During the mentorship round, I had a lot opportunity to work with good chefs who helped me with planting, egg cooking, and balance in flavor to ensure I did not overpower the egg. And another thing I want to talk is, first, I don't want to join this competition because my English is so bad. I don't know if from here I speak, you understand me or no. But my chef told me, you will be fine. You will enjoy the competition and you will learn a lot. So I'm here. Sorry. But
Lingna,
yeah, in here, I'm not just learn how to cook. I think I get more confidence. I know you don't understand me a lot, but I can.
No.
And here I can speak English. So I'm very thankful for your patience and thank you for all the chefs pay attention to teach me. And yeah, thank you.
Lingna, we understand you perfectly. We understand you perfectly, Lingna. Thank you so much for sharing. Let's move over to Olivia. Let's have a little quick conversation about your experience in this competition. And then we'll keep moving through everyone. Olivia, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first competition, it was nerve-wracking for sure, to say the least. But, you know, I'm glad I pushed myself. I'm glad I did it because I'm really proud of the dish I made. I didn't think, you know, I could ever make something like that under so much pressure, but I did it. And yeah, it was a good experience. Like, I learned a lot about eggs, like the importance of a fresh egg for sure. The versatility of an egg. Like, when you think of a dish, when they're like, oh, make a dish that involves eggs, like the opportunities, like the options are endless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No
Subaki
problem.
Onishi. You're on mute.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Perfect. So for this competition, I was very, very nervous. I don't know if you can believe me talking like this, but I was so nervous. I can show you. This is a 30 eggs container. Use them up. Use them up. All for this the competition. It was thrilling at the same time, handshaking, and I feel very humble, like working with the chefs at school and teaching me and guiding me through whole this competition. I learned so much from them, like a plating and a flavor as well. And I feel like this was difficult because of the online and it was my first competition. But I feel like this experience is gonna make me want to do it again. Like, as painful and stressful as it was, I wanna jump in again to feel this excitement, I guess. And then it's been really fun. Like, I didn't think egg can transform to so many things. I thought it was like, oh, egg is only for like baking or, you know, I don't know. I didn't know so much stuff, like many possibilities that comes with the egg. It was amazing journey. Thank you very much for that.
No, we appreciate that. Thanks so much, Subaki. Sarah, where are you, Sarah?
How's it going, Garth?
Good. Thank you. Good. Yeah. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience and yeah, we see the smile on your face. Let's hear the words.
I've just never cooked this many eggs. I've never bought this many eggs. I've never broken this many eggs ever. I guess the biggest thing that I like kind of took away from this was how temperamental they can be. Like, I don't know if you noticed when I was cooking, but the first few times that I tried to make this dish, I would just crack the egg when it's on the stove and like put them all in individually. But every single time, all the times were off. So I have to literally have them in bowls preset before I start going, just so I can have it all be at the same cook time. So one of them's not overdone, the other's not runny, but yeah, it was good.
That's amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I know it's not easy doing what you're doing.
Technique.
Let's move on to Yuheng. Where's Yuheng?
Hello.
Hi, Yuheng.
Hi. I want to talk about eggs. So I used about 160 eggs as well. So it's like crazy practice. I had 7-8 eggs every day. That's plenty. So obviously it's not an easy thing to complete. I think learning is a slow and gradual process. It's not a day or two, but it's gained through a community of time and growth experience. But once I master this skill, it will stay with all of the rest of my life, and I will be happy to share with my friend and make a nice omelet for my friend.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And definitely, last but not least, Robin, tell us a little bit about your experience in this competition.
Well, that was like a great experience. I learned a lot of things, but the most important, like, I think it's the practice. The more you practice the things, the more you get perfection in that, and you found really like an easy way to do it, how to do it. Well, it was a great experience. The ultimate accolade. Like you guys are great as chefs working in the world currently. Each of you making change like what you cook. I remember like I dropped my business management course last year, thinking of that I need to get out the structure of doing a table at a one job, doing a job at a one table. Well, after that, I found almost a drift. I think that's why I'm here today. I just want to reinstate my voice as an Indian chef, get on the world stage and talk about my country and what we have to add on the culinary world. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Listen, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. If we can get the judges to come on back. Chef competitors, thank you so much for telling your story, not only verbally here, but on the plate. Let's bring our chefs back and we will start getting into the final piece of our evening. No pressure. So we're going to get the chefs to come back, and once they're back, I'll talk a little bit about the next a little bit. So chefs are going to come back and they're going to provide some feedback on the event and what they saw today in the kitchens, not only in the inspirational dish that the chefs did, but also in the egg flicking, the egg technique demo. And then we're going to go into viewer's choice, and then we're going to reveal the winners. So if our chefs are coming back, I think we're just trying to get them back into the room right now. Chefs, are y'all back?
Yes, Gareth, we're all here.
Okay, great, perfect. Listen, I'd like to provide get some feedback from our chefs tonight on the competition overall, how much and what you saw. And I think we're going to chat with Chef Dale McKay. We're going to start with you first, Egg Farmers of Canada Representative Ambassador Chef Dale McKay, to talk a little bit about some remarks on what you saw tonight.
I saw a lot of great, passionate young chefs. You know, it's always exciting seeing again the development of their dishes from round to round, and you know, the confidence that they're putting out and trying new things. I think what I really love is when, you know, chefs pull creativity from their background and from their upbringing and wherever they're from. I think that's really important as being a chef and just being a person from wherever in the world that you're from, that you really show off where you're from and use those flavors. And the nice thing is, you know, going abroad or staying in your own country, learning from one another, it clearly shows, because we saw some great creativity, some great technique, and passion and confidence. So those are all things you really will need in this industry. So congratulations on your main dishes, the egg cookery. You know, as you know, it's not the easiest thing to do on camera. So keep practicing, and I'm sure you're going to be flipping eggs, no problem.
That's great, Chef. Thank you so much. Appreciate those words. Renee Lavallee.
Well, Gareth, you know what? It was an exciting night. You know, I had to do it. You know what? I really, you know, it was an amazing evening. The gamut of flavors and techniques that was sort of like shown tonight was, you know what? It's really actually really nice to see. I love to see the passion in these students, like their techniques, their dishes, you know, they're really taking this to heart. We've seen everything from like egg custards to shakshuka to sort of an Indian style scrambled eggs. We saw like a more of Italian style ravioli. So it's actually nice to see a little bit of everything and how they incorporated eggs, not only in like one way, but in a few different ways in their dishes. So, you know what, I think it was really amazing. And you know what, kudos to them. I mean, it's not easy to like, you know, get in front of a bunch of people and like cook with their hearts. And you know what, great for them. And it was really exciting. And I really want to thank, you know, the Egg Farmers of Canada for having me. And you know what, may the best egg cooker win, Garth.
I have to say, Renee, I was ecstatic when I found out you were going to be a judge tonight.
That's excellent. That's excellent, Garth.
We've used excellent a few times.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe if I come back next year, I'll have like a full range of like egg sort of like puns that I can use.
Yeah, awesome. Love it. Final comments regarding what they've experienced tonight with our chef students, and not just tonight, but over the past several weeks and through the different rounds. Chef Craig Flynn, please, some words from you would be great.
Apologies, everyone. Thank you, Garth. And thank you to the students. I mean, there's really, there's a lot of hard work that goes into this. The planning of this has gone on for a long time, but until the students sign up and start to conceive dishes and put their creativity into play and start cooking, that's when this competition really took life. And I again echo the sentiments of the other two chef judges in that, seeing the personal touches in the dishes was really what inspired me today. And I learned lots from these dishes as well. Eggs being so versatile, I mean, it's almost an endless amount of recipes and dishes that you can come up with. So I took a lot of inspiration from that. Look, not everybody is going to walk away with the winning prize, but it really did come down to, it was very, very, very close in the end. And you guys putting yourselves out there for this really made it for all of us. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being involved. I want to thank Egg Farmers of Canada for putting this on. I want to thank all of the egg farming families that produce this incredibly versatile ingredient for us to all be creative with and cook with. I've had a heck of a lot of fun. I really appreciate seeing the evolution of the dishes. I got to see it from early on. And you all deserve to be here tonight and enjoying it. And I just want to say thank you and congratulations for a very, very great fight. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Craig. Really appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to that point of the night. I've got four things to say, and I'll try to say it in this order. We're going to announce the viewer's choice. We're all ready? The viewer's choice award. Can we all see the students? Just want to double check. We're all ready to roll. Okay. We are going to start. There we go. Perfect. We're going to start with the viewer's choice award. The voters have made their votes. It's for $500 and dinner at the campus student-driven, student-operated restaurant at NSCC Ackerley campus. Yu Heng Lee is the viewer's choice winner. Yu Heng Lee, congratulations. It's so weird to hear this without actually the applause, but we see everyone's hands doing this. I think everyone's cheering for you. Fantastic. Now we're going to move into the order of the winners. We're going to go third, second, and then finally with our first place winner. Our third place winner this evening in the 2022 Egg Farmers of Canada Virtual Culinary Challenge. Third place is Yu Heng Lee. Congratulations. Our second place winner, a first-year culinary student, Olivia Sewell. And our first place winner for the 2022 Egg Farmers of Canada Virtual Culinary Challenge is Tsubaki Onishi. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. Well done, everyone. Congratulations, chefs, chef judges. We couldn't have done this without you. There's so many people behind the scenes here. Chef Ketley, Chef Mooney, Chef Canning, all the team. We thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you to Jill Thomas of the Egg Farmers of Canada. Thank you, judges. Chef Dale McKay, super great to see you. Congratulations on all the success. Chef Craig, you know what? you have maybe retired, but there's another door that's opening up for you, and we couldn't be more happy and proud of you. And Renee, keep on slugging it out. You make Dartmouth proud, you make Halifax proud. You're huge supporters of these kids and these students, and we couldn't thank you enough. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this. Students, great job. And I guess I'm signing off. Oh yeah, students, you got to stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. We really appreciate you being a part of this. And thank you very much for letting me be a part of this.